Hey guys, this is ToyTony, and we're here tonight to make a video about an error, or a variation as you might call it, on the new Turtles of Grayskull Ram Man. I know that there have been a number of videos already come out about this figure, and so we're not going to do our video the way a typical video of a figure might be done. We're here mainly to talk about a variation, or like I said, an error that we found on this card, and we wanted to share it with you. If you notice this figure, as well as all the other ones, they're really awesome. And so I've got this carded figure here to, and then I've also got a loose one already open. So we have this cool Ram Man here to show you. So what we're here to talk about today is the diagram on the back of this card. The diagram on the back of this card shows how you're supposed to put the weapons in Ram Man's hand. And if you look at the diagram, it shows that the double-edged axe goes in the right hand and the single-edged axe goes in the left hand. The single-edged axe has a smaller piece to it, so it will go in here, even though, and it'll go in the other one too because it's the smaller of the two. But we noticed that this double-edged axe will not go in this hand. This hand, there's no way you're going to get this axe into this hand as the diagram shows. This axe needs to go into this hand, and if we mess around with it long enough, we can show you, because it's not even easy getting it honestly into this hand. You have to kind of push it in through the thumb, and that's kind of fun in itself. So once you get that, you can pull it up and it works. Bingo. And then of course, this axe, the smaller of the two, fits perfect in this hand. So this is the way this figure is supposed to hold the weapons. So we thought, wow, that's kind of weird that the diagram is actually wrong. So we started looking around, because that's one of the things I've done for years, is I like looking for errors. And so we kept track of Ram Man, and all of a sudden this figure showed up. This figure showed up, and it has a sticker on it. And so we wanted to show everybody this variation, because you need to look for it, because one, they have made a change and they corrected the fact that the double edge axe needs to go into this hand and the single edged axe needs to go into that hand. But this is a sticker. This is a temporary fix. So not only is this something that you might want to check for if you like variations, because it's probably not going to be out for a long period of time, especially if Turtles of Grayskull figures sell like they have been selling at the stores. It's been very hard to find them. So they're probably going to end up with the third variation where this is actually printed on the card. So we thought we'd come here today to show you the fact that there is a variation, and we will show you an up-close picture of each diagram so that you can see the way it looked when it was wrong and the way it looks now with the fix. And anyway, we thought that was something cool that we needed to bring up. And since we have Ram Man open, we did want to mess with him for a little bit. He is kind of cool. This is a really cool figure, and it has very good articulation, so I'm not going to go through all the typical articulation that goes with this, but I do want to show you something else that we found out about the weapons. Is if you take this, we were wondering why they went to the trouble of giving this weapon a thicker, end, and a smaller to this one. We were going, why in the heck would they even do that? Why don't they just have the same piece on both ends? That way they would be interchangeable and they wouldn't have had to do anything. The sticker would be kind of no big deal. It would just be showing you how to put the weapons in the hands. But we were sitting here playing around with it, and we noticed after we messed around with it that maybe this is something that I don't think that people actually brought up, was the fact that these two weapons interlock together to create this kind of a super axe, as we call it. Okay, we're going to take this double-sided axe now that we've made, and we're going to place it in the hand and push it in from this side. And the hardest part probably is the fact that I'm doing this not looking at it. I'm trying to do it for the camera. So like that, and then ta-da! It's Super Axe. So I think that's pretty cool looking. And we could take it back out if we wanted to. Just hold it at an angle. I think what you need to do is pull out and then come out, and see how easy it is. I didn't even do that correctly until a number of times, but you actually, if you do it in an angle, it works a lot better. But then you can pull these pieces apart, and this back piece, both of the axes will fit in there. The back piece, you need to squeeze it a little bit to get the bigger one in, and then the smaller one will slide right in beside it. And presto magic, he's ready to start out on an expedition, and he's looking for any goody two-shoes out there that he can kick some butt. So anyway, so what did you think about that, Ram Man? I think Skeletor will be very proud of me. I'm going to show him that I am now his new favorite minion. Ha 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 ha. It's kind of weird that Ram Man's an evil creature right now, but that's kind of the fun thing about Turtles of Grayskull, is you don't know who's on what team, and you know who's going to be mutated by ooze. So anyway, again, we mainly wanted to get together to show you about this error, so we hope that you learned something from this, and if you like variations, you might want to run out and look for this at your nearest store, because you never know when they're going to change it. So until next time, remember, you're never too old to love toys. This is ToyTony, and we will talk to you real soon. Bye. Bye. Hey, rah.